Greetings, YouTube. It is I, Karma, coming at you with another quick battle from Total Brohammer here. A little 1v1 action as Sakarma versus Joey Wheeler. I hope that's his real name, and I hope you all DDoS him because he's a real piece of shit. Nah, I'm kidding. He's a nice guy. He said good luck, have fun, all that stuff. And, yeah, I think we played like 3 matches in a row. We must have been the only 2 people playing Warhammer. So, yeah, so we played a bunch of matches together. So he's a nice guy. So, send him your love. Maybe send him a gift, perhaps. Find out where he lives. That's totally legit, right? Just, go stalk some stranger off the internet, find out his personal information, and then totally shatter his sense of security and privacy by just mailing him things. Let him know that really he's at our mercy if he ever fucks with us, the Brohammers. Anyways, no, I love this guy. Sorry. Carrying on. So I brought the little Gobbo squad. What did I bring? I brought my trusted Gobbo war boss here. There he is. And he's got just Wah and the Tormentor Sword, classic little duo. He's immune to psychology? What? Oh, because he's a Night Goblin war boss. That's right. Cool. Didn't know that. Okay, so immune to psychology. I brought the Goblin Big Boss, and I brought this guy, the Goblin Shaman. What did I bring with him? I don't remember. I didn't bring the Curse of the Bad Moon. But I did bring Gorkle Fix It, and then Itchy Nuisance, Itchy Sneaky Stab, and classic moves. Brought a couple of chevroned up goblins just to be there to stoke fire, take some shields, and also do well against spearmen and other state troops. Night goblins, of course, chevroned up in the background with the two regiments of renown. And I like to pair them together because these guys won't break and these guys do armor sundering. So together, and these guys do poison. So together, they're actually a very strong force to be reckoned with. Together, they can bring down some pretty elite units. So I like to put them together. And then the back here, the Rusty Arrows and 1 Night Goblin Archers. I wanted them to be Night Goblin rather than just regular archers, just because they're hidden. And they actually do poison in combat, so if they do it in combat, at least it can do a little bit of something, so just melt. They only cost about 125 extra, which is actually a lot, but I don't know, I figured I'd give them a shot. Over here, right away, I have the Death Creepers and the Morgan's Rangers Marauders trying to shoot down some of these Altdwarf Griffins alongside my... Oh, and I forgot I brought the Hammer of Gork and a Doomdiver Catapult, because you never really see the Doomdiver Catapult anymore. Back in, Warhammer 1, it could just... before, one of the early days, it could just wreck cavalry or anything, really. I remember there was one game I was watching here. I'll pause it real quick while I reminisce. But there was one game I was watching where a cav unit was charging it, and it totally killed it in the length of before it was able to reach it. So it was pretty impressive back in the day. Anyways, but it's not that good anymore. It's pretty bad, but I like bringing it for flavor. Then I brought this some Dirk Squigs, and I call them Squig Hoppers in the forest, alongside a Goblin Wolf Rider and a Goblin Spider Rider. My opponent here, meanwhile, playing Empire, brought a Flying Goon squad, so I actually smoke him in the head with a Doom. I'm not sure I was aiming at that guy, but yeah, I actually did decent damage. Not bad. Yeah, I got him with a Doom Diver. That's the crumpling Doom Diver. They brought an Empire Captain and a Boris Todbringer, along with an Unbreakable army, which not a big fan of fighting Unbreakable armies, but what can you do? So there's a bunch of Flagellants, along with the Tattered Souls and Sigmar Sun, and then 1 Empire Knight. Especially against Gobbos, it's such a strong, potent force. Because against Black Orcs, they'll chop through everything here. But since I brought Gobbos, they'll kill everything I brought. I didn't even bring a Giant or anything like that, because I was concerned about range. Meanwhile, my opponent brought no range, so he kind of picked me. But nice, we snipe a Demigriff, but he just takes it on the chin. Wow, it just keeps going. So his his magic is Wild or Beast, whatever it's called. I think it's Beast, sorry. Wild is the thing. He comes in here, gets a nice little thing. I start to move my guys around so we take less damage from that. Then he comes in. I'm trying to get some shots off with the air, but he is trying to his flying squad. A little premature maybe, but he's getting shot up. Maybe he wants to get these guys down. And of course these guys are hidden, so he must know there's things in the forest, because this can't be my whole army. So he's being a little tentative, he's being a little careful, but he sees that he's got some time, so he brings in Boris here to snipe these Doomdiver Catapults, which is fine. Over here I'm getting some good shots of his captain. He's taking a lot of damage doing this, so I don't mind. He does land this guy, and this is actually a huge play, because now these guys are revealed, and the second he sees that, he's going to try and get away, but these guys are applying poison. Remember I said that poison was important? So he's slowed, then he gets hit by the spiders, so now he's mega slowed, and then I'm going to start activating these guys. They do get caught because these guys tear out. Ridiculous. They're totally fine surrounded by allies, but they start to tear out, and now he's got Tormentor Sword, and he's hit with Wah, so he's just going down in a hurry. You can see his damage is going to just absolutely melt, and he summons this Flying Manticore to try and, you might as well use the magic and get some damage done while he can, because he is not long for this world. He is just getting fucked up. He brings the Manticore in, but the Manticore starts dying right away. And the problem with the Manticore, especially the Summon Manticore, is it will just rampage after like 10 seconds. Because it just takes so much damage just from, having little armor, 45, and then it will just, and we already shattered him. So that was a huge pickup early on. Over here, Boris is doing pretty well, but I do have the Goblin Night Boss trying to get him. I have him Itchy Nuisance just to avoid some damage. Over here, he got his Knight Captain against me, but I was able to get my Goblins in here. So it's a really good start, actually. Like a really, really good start for me. His magic's off the field. We did some good damage to Boris. You can see Boris is already at half health. Of course, he'll just heal that up. The Empire Captain we fucked up. Over here, his Demigryphs are getting messed up by our Rusty Arrows and a bunch of other units and our Mage Marauders. But the problem is his army here is very, very strong and very potent against what I have, which is a lot of unarmored units. I was hoping they would bring elites, but they did not bring any elites. It was really just all Unbreakables. So I'm kind of in trouble, actually. It looks really good for me, but it really, you'll see as the game goes on, it's not that great of a position. Also, my artillery's been offline the whole time. They've been, fighting in the back line. Obviously, it's worth it. It was a worthwhile pickup, but still, it's not looking the greatest. His Empire Captain was able to shut down the Rusty Arrows long enough to start to close the gap, and he does have Boris, who's super mobile. Over here, he brought in his Empire Knights, and I don't really have an answer to the Empire Knights because, again, they're pretty solid. I planned to kill the Cav was my large and just mob them with their Squids and a bunch of other units, but considering he has all these Shadow Souls around, it's just so hard. He has, Flagellants. It's very difficult. And he brings Boris in, and he brings his Flagellants in, and they're pinning me down, and they're killing me, and I have no answer to his big units. So even though I get to get that nice pickup early on, it's not looking so great right now. These guys are more likely or better dealing with great swords because they have their armor piercing, and the rear charge are going to do nothing against Flagellants because they don't take any penalties to psychology because they're unbreakable. So I'm fighting like a vampire army here at this point. So it's a little difficult. Some of my sons are in here. Basically, my whole lines have collapsed. Yeah, it's not looking great. Everyone's dying. These guys will trade okay. The stats-wise, they're decent. 32, 34. They have 40, 24. So not terrible. Have the same amount of armor, but still not looking great. A lot of my units are beginning to rout. They're in the forest. We are getting some decent damage on this guy, but not enough to kill him, surprisingly. Over here, I let my dice balls, I call them the Scorecloppers, get caught, and they're going to lose that battle. And well, I'm finding, but I do move them. Over here, the Royal Altar of Griffites are just killing everything I sent at them, which makes sense. Those are considered, I don't know if those considered large units or not, but still, they're a really elite unit, and it's going to be hard to get them off the field. Over here, I am able to catch Boris again, but of course, because he has Foe Seeker and all that, I don't think I might have popped Tormentor Sword already, because we're trying to get him. He's Gorko fixed it, he's slowed, he is Itchy Nuisance, he's taking poison, but he still has all that mass, and I just can't get him, no matter what I do. Over here, my Goblin Big Boss is stuck here fighting Reichsguard, so that's no good. But yeah, I mean, that would have been such a huge pickup. Then he brings in these guys, and I was like, okay, let's stay with this engagement and try and finish them, because they are so low. But yeah, the Reichsguard just take no damage. Again, I don't know if this is considered a large entity. It is considered cavalry, so he does take damage. And then, of course, Boris comes in with a charge and just wrecks him. And look at that, 2 hits, and it's already over for my Goblin Big Boss. So I have to run him out, and I have to sacrifice my Shaman. So what looked like a great engagement is actually turning into a real piece of shit here for Sakarma's forces. And it's a real clusterfuck. So yeah, we are shooting these guys, but again, they're all unbreakable. So they'll never, they're never going to run. So everything's just stuck. And they're just going to keep coming, and cycle charging, rear charging, none of that makes plays any part in this. That's kind of why I don't like fighting unbreakable armies, especially non-vampire ones, because positioning means nothing at this point. Rear charges, all that, will get me no value other than a little bit extra damage. But there's no like, okay, see how much see what the rear charge did there in terms of hurting their morale. That's huge. Makes it actually worthwhile to rear charge. But and same thing with them. They did the same thing to me. So it's kind of, I don't know, not a big fan of all unbreakable armies. But what can you do? Anyways, Boris still on the hunt. He's taking down this Goblin Shaman. I do have some units recruit back in the forest, but nothing special. Just the Rusty Arrows here, the only really important unit. They were able to beat off the Empire Captain. He is finally off the field, so that's a big win for me. Boris is almost at his healing cap, but again, you saw how much damage he did to the Night Goblin War Boss. When they're on the ground, it's a fair fight, but that charge and that initial follow-up attack he gets is just devastating. The Death Creepers are out of ammo, so there's nothing left to shoot. Over here, the Dirk Squids are trying to get some charges in, and these guys are fighting, but it's not looking great on my end of the field. We do manage to get he does start to tear out these guys, and we saw them earlier. They tear out it at like full health. It's not they're already at like 40% health. They're ready to get the fuck out of here. They want to go home to their Night Goblin Mrs. and Misters. I don't know, eat shrooms and just live a more a comfortable Gobbo life. Of course, we're trying to pin him down, but he just gets out of range. Because if I can get him on the ground, we have a chance. But unfortunately, he's out of there. What's the armor on this guy? 55, so flagellants will also fuck him up. And it's just really looking really bad here. I send out my Dark Squids to try and get in here. Forest lands, which is actually a big... I could have hit him, and I do here. I come around, a nice charge. And I do hit him with Tormentor Sword, so he is stuck. We are going to put some beating on him. And I'm willing to take this, okay, I'll get hit by some of these flagellants, but they have, 14 melee attack. I'll take that. And he's getting hit by the Rusty Arrows. And he's so close to dying, but we just can't get those final few hits. And even if he started routing, it would be huge, because he's right at the edge of the map. So that'd be giant, but he does just walk away, because that's what Griffins can do and large entities can do. And then I'm like, okay, that's it. If I had gotten him, it was, I would have been fine, but now my Night Goblin Squid Cutters are leaving, my Shaman's gone, my Big Boss is gone. I pretty much thought this was GG, actually, and you'll see I kind of give up here for a moment, but as you can see by the time left, there is a little bit. I think if my opponent had charged me here, it would have been game over. Besides, decides to charge the Rusty Arrows, which I think was a big mistake, because if he had gotten one good charge on the Night Goblin boss, he would have fled. He would have been out of here. But he charges instead the Rusty Arrows, which does get them off the field, but allows him to get a nice charge and do some serious damage. Of course, he does mob him, and again, this is where I said, I was pretty much, okay, GG, it's over. This will be it for Sakarma. The Goblins have fallen. I thought he was going to rout, and it was going to be done, and I even messaged GG at this point. But no, he stays fighting, and I'm able to pull him out somehow. He wiggles, you saw a little wiggle, you get the little wiggle out there. I get a charge in here with these Death Creepers to push them back, and he starts to gain some morale back, so I was like, okay, maybe all's not lost. I'll give it a shot. Why not? Never give up. Never surrender. And I see that over here, my forces are actually doing okay. I mean, the 8 Goblins are still around, and they'll be able to beat up probably most flagellants. And they won't rout either, so that's my one answer to his Unbreakable units. And I do have mobility. So I bring all these guys back. I have the Mangy Marauders here, who actually, I mean, the Mangy Marauders have pretty poor stats, but these guys' stats aren't bad. 24, 32, 26, especially against flagellants. Again, no armor with those charge bonuses. I'm able to collapse on this, little pocket here and regroup with my infantry. Again, everything will rout, but I do have the AP Gloonies here, or the Warlord's Boys, or the AP Gloonies, so they won't rout, so they're unbreakable, so that's huge. And of course, they also apply poison. Unfortunately, my opponent does have the Demigryph still, which is very dangerous. And again, one charge from Boris, and it's all over for Mr. Night Goblin Warboss over here. So it's a very touch and go battle here. He does decide to write these guys off, which is again not a bad move. But I actually think, again, this might have been a bit of a misplay, because I'm able to pin down these Demigryphs, and even though they are, in a favorable engagement, they're poisoned, and I hit them with the Night Goblin Warboss with charge, and they're so close to dying. I mean, every little hit they take is huge. And I'm just trying to keep my Night Goblin Warboss hopping around so he doesn't get smoked by big old Boris over there, or is this one flagellant just getting up into the fight. Yeah, but they start running away, and then I start taking damage on the charge, and then right here, a big charge here, and then with the Morgrubs, Major Marauders, we're able to surround them. We get a couple kills on models there. The damage is done, and they start to rout, and that's huge. And he lands Boris, and again, if he had just charged my Night Goblin Warboss, it might have been over, but he lands Boris. I get the Tormentor Sword on him, and then the Night Goblin Warboss comes in and gets him hit with a hit. But it is not over, because Boris is still on a Griffin. He's not healing anymore. He's healing cap. He's still on a Griffin. So all he has to do is just waddle his little yellow butt around, which he will eventually, and he's going to get a big hit on the Night Goblin Warboss. And that could be game. Just one hit. You see, one hit just takes up so much damage, so it's really touch and go here. Boris refuses to break, and so does my Goblin Warboss. My Goblin Warboss gets a hit on, and he's like at 371 health. I have him surrounded. He starts to run away, and we are giving chase. We are not letting him get out of here, but I think he does. Oh, but we shatters. He shatters. That's what happened. So he shatters, and he's out of here. At this point, the balance bar just swings way in my favor, because that was pretty much the game. And my opponent basically said GG at this point. Of course, he has unbreakable units. And you think, okay, the game's over. That's it. We did it. Sakarma pulled out victory from the jaws of defeat. It's all good. And I'm like, all right, we just got to, of course, I can't cycle charge them or anything like that. Or surround them, rather, because it does nothing. They're just flagellants, so they'll fight forever. But, yeah, he could still theoretically win. So I'm like, all right, I got to be careful here. I can't rest too much on my laurels here. These are all unbreakable units, and they have decent stats. So obviously, I'm trying to cycle charge, I'm trying to do as much damage as I can. But every moment they're in there, they're gonna die, and then the Morgrubs and Major Marauders just shatter, and they're ready to get the fuck out of here. But I put this guy in here for 2 seconds, and he starts to flee. And I was like, oh my god, if he breaks, it's over. My entire army will flee, and I'll just be these guys against the AP Gloonies. I'm not sure they can pull it out, because he does start to flee. I'm like, oh my god, no, no, stay. We've won this fight. Look at the balance bar. Don't you have like a little like Gobbo screen you can look at, like on your like wrist, like in football? They have a little stupid gadget or whatever. But no, he starts to run away, but then he comes immediately returns. And I did have some units in the forest, which I pulled back, and that was what's going to turn the tide. At that point, my opponent admits defeat here. He's not going to just fight it out, so there's a few guys left. So very, very close battle. I thought I was fucked, absolutely, when Boris was in there messing up my war boss. But no, surprisingly enough, the Gobbo war boss was able to pull it out. That Tormentor sword is a sweet, sweet piece of gear. It really, really changes the game, especially with that mobility on him, because he's so fast, and he's like 80-something speed. So you have 80 speed, armor piercing, with poison, and you can Tormentor sword people. I mean, he is such a useful little Gobbo. Not to mention, he has Wah on him too. So you pop Wah, you pop Tormentor sword, you get that charge in, you get the poison. You're just doing tons of debuffs, and then of course if you have the Night Goblin around with pardon me, with Itchy Nuisance and Sneaky Stab and a bunch of other abilities that he can apply. I mean, you're just getting so much utility out of that little guy, and he can really punch above his weight, especially at 1,200 gold. He's a really, really solid pick. As you can see here on my opponent's side, 100 kills, 100 kills, 100 kills on some of his elite units, and then just middling kills on other units. Boris got 78. But basically, yeah, I mean, again, Unbreakable Army. Is it my favorite way to fight the Empire? No, I think it's kind of lame a little bit, because I don't want to say abusing. Listen, Joey Wheeler, very nice guy. I enjoyed playing against him. I just didn't like this. Unbreakable. I don't like fighting Unbreakable Empires, but that's besides the point. Anyways, just makes the game a little bit less fun for me. But anyways, GG to my opponent. Fun game. We played a couple others. I said that already. All right, so I'll end the stream or cast here. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you around the bend.